What's goody, my people? Yo, what's good? Back again with another video, man. Hey, look, brothers, man. I hope y'all been doing good. I hope y'all been doing all right. I got a little flu or cold or whatever you want to call it. Um, in the wintertime. It's nothing. It's nothing, and it's nothing concerning, man. Your boy's still healthy. Your boy's good. And even in our sickness, even in our illness, we will still march on for the Most High. I got another episode here, part of the digital ID series or the digital leash series, because this your leash. These are your chains. These are your yokes, baby. This is modern day slavery. This is how they get you. You know, you finna be doing jumping jacks, and twerking that ass for them soon enough. Yo, all right. So this title, as you see, it's about digital ID. Just a little update about what's going on. There are more and more episodes concerning the digital ID. There are new digital ID platforms. Digital ID comes in various shapes and sizes and forms. And two of the forms that we'll be discussing today is one, the digital driver's license, and two, the digital family card. So this article is about a digital family card initiative that's being brought into Kazakhstan and Russia. And they've already started this, having this family digital ID plan where the whole family is included as an ID. And in turn, for the information and the data that you give them, you are compensated with, I believe, monthly financial support from the government. So if that exchange is worth it to you, man, hey, let me know. Let me know. That's a good conversation right there. So the digital family card, you give them your tax information, your pension information, whether you own real estate or not, how many people are in your family, where you're living, maybe not religious affiliates, and in turn they give you the monthly check. Okay, so it says here that the nation of Kazakhstan, one of Russia's southern neighbors, has partnered with the United Nations Development Program, of course, in rolling out a new digital ID that offers social welfare programs called the Digital Family Card. This is but one example of how the digital ID will come at us, regardless of where you live on planet Earth in the 21st century. All right, so this digital ID is meant to target people who are mostly poor and dependent, as is the usual case with the government, right? That's why they don't want you rich. That's why they don't want you having money. That's why they don't want a pool in your backyard. But yeah, though, and a few of those poor and dependent people could be single mothers, could be people depending on food stamps, people depending on childcare, or the elderly, you know. And speaking of people depending on childcare, you guys watch the act with the mother who forces cancer on a little girl. That's a crazy movie, man. Women are crazy, bro. But anyways, I digress. So the end of this result will be a massive government spy network able to penetrate down to the household level of each family that signs up for the scam, and how they'll be able to penetrate down to the household level is the data that you give them. More, man, they record, analyze, and make data charts, or build data models on everything. So while the digital family card scheme was first introduced in 2022, it was unveiled to the world last week before the UN Sustainable Development Goals Summit in New York City. Bro, UN has got to be the most evil organization ever, bro. This is crazy what they up to. This means it's a UN model program designed to be rolled out in every nation. The digital family card is being promoted to achieve Sustainable Development Goal number 10, reduced inequalities, according to the Deputy President Representative for the United Nations Development Program in Kazakhstan. So the goal there of reducing inequalities, it's somewhat communistic. They want everyone equal. They want everyone to be on the same financial strata. They want communism. You know, they want everybody being equally powerless against the government. So this is how they explain it. The digital family card is unique in that it provides a single point of interaction between government agencies to support the population in areas such as education, social protection, finance, justice, medical, and social support. So, after receiving the data with family vulnerability assessment, the digital family card automatically initiates state support measures, identifies the responsible public authority, and through e government provides the service in proactive mode. Now, citizens do not have to go to each of the public services to apply. And then the rest is just propaganda, making it seem that the digital family card is here to help. Okay, so it says here that the idea is to get people hooked into these digitized frameworks, enticing them by touting all of the benefits, the ease of use, the convenience, the free handouts, and only after the masses are fully engaged and addicted, then will they be informed about the dark side of digital slavery. Like the possibility of being penalized for a low social credit score. That's that's how it is. Once they build that digital identification, then they can apply the social credit scores to each profile or family. You think they'll do that? Like families having their own social credit score as a family? That's a video game, man. That's a matrix. That's like a mental intangible prison. Wow, that's crazy, bro. All right, but look, I digress, I digress. So, this is the same system already rolled out in China and now being introduced to one nation after another. But it will come in many forms, using specialized propaganda targeting many different ethnic cultures and demographics. This is part of the United Nations Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, which is the global plan to control all of the world's resources, both living and non living. The mantra of the UN Agenda 2030 is no person left behind. No person left behind. That's a bit scary when you put it like that. I'm used to that statement being, like something positive, something reassuring. But when they put it here, it's like, oh man, you don't want none of that. Okay, so this particular program was tied to the sustainable goal number 10, which is reduced inequality. It also furthers Sustainable Development Goal 16.9, which calls for governments to register every citizen of the world with a digital ID. You hear that, guys? Every single citizen, me and you know, like this is coming from for all of us. This is a battle that we're all gonna face, man. And wherever you are, man, may the Most High be with you. May His truth, may His thirst and hunger for righteousness, and may His guidance be upon you, man. I wish you all the best, guys. So I just wanted you to hear this from the beast's mouth itself. So at a General Assembly meeting in New York a while ago, some guy named Baghdad Musin, who is Kazakhstan Minister of Digital Development, Innovation, and Aerospace, presented the family card to the assembly, and he boasted about how the government created a data lake comprised of 18 different data points and documentation for the millions of families, which include things like pensions, taxes, real estate registry, health records, and so forth, which allows the government to procure or retroactively update the digital family card. We can monitor social and economic conditions, home conditions, healthcare, education, and others, and we are now able to identify family problems that need be addressed. All right, this is another article about digital ID, but this one's more specifically about the digital driver's license, which is an actually existing thing in about what 10 states, and like 4 states are currently trying to implement it into their legislation. And further than that, it's also being accepted at, I believe, what, 19 airports across the United States. The TSA accepts digital driver's licenses. So digital ID is already here, man. It's just not being widely used yet. But I mean, it's only a matter of time, man. And to be honest, it probably won't happen in our generation, brothers, but our children, our grandchildren, they are going to probably follow this thing a lot. But let me go on. So, nearly a fourth of states introducing biometric digital IDs, and more than half are Republican red states. So, okay, I'm not going to start from the top because this one, there's just bits of pieces here that I want to share with you guys. So it says here that conservative Republican states like Iowa, Mississippi, Georgia, Utah, and Ohio are just as eager to advance the digital ID, digital currency recipe for globalist control as liberal Democrat states like California, Michigan, Maryland, and Hawaii. Read on as we break down the latest developments on the topic nobody wants to discuss in public. The author goes on to state that once these two totalitarian tools are in place, there will be no turning back. The beast system will be hovering over us 24/7, watching everywhere we go, everything we buy, what we are eating, who we are choosing to connect with, and whether we've submitted to the latest injection that promises to protect the herd. And just to add on to this, if you do not choose to yield or to conform and to accept the latest injection, then they can isolate you, they can marginalize you to the point where you won't be able to work, you won't be able to go into certain hospitals, airports, public transportation systems, the bank, schools. You won't be able to buy or sell because of you not being a part of the system. And there's a Bible verse about this in the book of Revelations. I believe it's book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 17. And it says that no man will be able to buy or sell, save he who has the mark of the beast in his right hand or on his nose, um, or he who has the number of the beast. And now I don't necessarily agree with everything that this website has to say or who Leo Holman really is, but a lot of the times, man, he is saying like some really sensible things that we need to be paying attention to, especially as men, not just as men, but as brothers, as caretakers, as fathers, as leaders, as counselors, as teachers, as judges, as mayors, as rulers, as community leaders, as chiefs, as kings. You got to walk circumspectively, man, with our right foot forward. Anyway, so this data will be transferred instantaneously to third parties who have no inherent right to it. And of course, that's probably going to be like a whole $1 billion industry of data itself. So yeah, they're going to continue to monitor your buying and living habits so they can award you with a social credit score, then offer rewards or punishments based on how well they determine you are using scarce resources such as food, gasoline, natural gas, electricity. They will also know if you're up to date on your shots. If your lifestyle is scored as less than sustainable, you will be treated accordingly. All of a sudden, your digital ID will flash a warning to the scanners at various entry points to every societal functions. And eventually, these scanners will be all over, barring you from entry. You won't even be able to log onto the internet. You will no longer qualify for any government services, a driver's license, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and veterans benefits. A Federal Reserve officially recently admitted that transactions using FedNow, of the forerunner to a U.S. central bank digital currency that was launched last month, will provide the Fed with an inside look at your banking records. Damn, bro. Nothing belongs to you no more. All right, so this is a Dr. Pippa Malgrim, who was a former presidential advisor, economist advisor, and economic advisor. And she said this during the World Government Summit that, in quote, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new accounting is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having almost a perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. And that's digital ID. So, with digital IDs and digital currencies, central bankers will have a perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy. The infrastructure for that system started with 5G, installed with federal funds under the Trump administration. Now the states are doing their part, ushering biometric digital driver's license. These three states are just a few of many. They're joining Arizona, Colorado, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Hawaii, Ohio, Utah, and Maryland in offering biometric digital driver's licenses. They all brag about how much more safe, secure, and convenient things will be once all humans have accepted digital marketing. All right, so these new digital driver license IDs that these states are issuing were developed by a company called iProof, or driven by the technology that iProof develops. And as I said earlier in this video, iProof develops facial recognition platforms, facial recognition softwares, and that's one of the main softwares that will be used for this digital driver's license. So, just a little bit about iProof. It is the world leader in biometric face verification. They enable banks, government agencies, and other organizations to verify that an online individual who is who they claim to be. Of course, this helps prevent identity theft and other cybercrime while also making online services easier to access. So, naturally, they believe that their flagship genuine presence assurance technology is the only way to assure the genuine presence of an online user and ensure that they are the right person. Um, their licenses assurance technology delivers an effortless and passive user experience and assures the person is the right person and a real person. iProof has global reach and has been in the planning stages since 2011. Now it is a reality and being rolled out in multiple US states. So, Michigan has already begun proposing a bill that would allow the Secretary of State to issue digital IDs in addition to their, of course, traditional physical counterparts. And if passed, the Michigan driver's license would become official IDs, digital driver's license, that is. They'd become official IDs, which would be equivalent to physical licenses. They would be valid for state government services, along with banking, police stops, and ID checks for age. So it seems like that they will be slowly phasing out physical identification, and slowly promoting the use of digital IDs through convenience, through security, probably a lot of other propaganda which they'll come up with because they always seem to come up with new ways to promote this. The article goes on to mention some of the concerns about whether an ID could be, lost or stolen, especially with these deep fakes or these facial AI platforms that are being used today. I'm not gonna really get into that. That kind of diverges from what I'm talking about, but hey, if you brothers ever want to read this article for yourselves, just, shoot me a comment or a message, and I'll gladly send the link to this article. So a bit about the actual practicality or the actual traction that the digital driver license has been receiving could be shown through the amount of support it's been getting in California. So California's biometric digital driver's license program has more than 2,000 active participants and is set to expand over the next few weeks before a public rollout. And this is according to NBC Los Angeles. Participating California residents are still urged to carry their physical IDs, as the so-called mobile driver license are not universally accepted yet. And to top that, the Federal Transportation Safety Administration, or the TSA, is already accepting mobile driver's license at 29 airports across America. All you have to do is submit to a face scam, which is easy, and it says here that it will be used to keep everyone safe. Of course, they're going to use propaganda and tools and verbiage like that to make it seem like you're doing the right thing. And then whoever disagrees with it will be probably cast as conspiracy theorists or just backward people who are just, what do they say? What do they call it? Enemies of progression. Yes, they like to use words or insults like that just to um, isolate you or marginalize you for having a sense of truth. And that is that part for what I wanted to show you concerning digital IDs and the digital driver's license program being launched in, as we already saw, several states and also being accepted at about 29 um, airports throughout the United States, approved by TSA as well. And yeah, I just wanted to update you guys about this digital family card, about how digital ID is progressing, and there's just many platforms of it. Different countries have different digital IDs strategies. I remember in I think it was Nigeria. There's an e-money or a digital currency that they're trying to develop, but in order for that digital currency to be used, they want people to submit their information and create digital identities. So digital ID comes in many shapes and forms and strategies. You know, on one side of the world, it could be called the digital family card. On the other side, digital driver's license. Um, almost like a shape shifting beast, huh? And it's only a matter of time before it ends up on our doorstep. But when that does happen, may you guys just be vigilant, man. May you guys just keep your eyes open, be observant, and seek the truth of what's going on around you. When that day comes, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what to do or where to go. Of course, I'm gonna resist it as 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 a follower of truth. But eventually, when the majority of society is for the digital ID, and then you are marginalized for not believing in it, and then you can't buy or sell or trade or start a business or take care of yourself or your family because you're not digitally, there isn't a digital record of you on their computer system. Then I don't know what happens next after that. But just know that when that day comes and you start seeing stuff like that, then from there on, it would be relatively any day before the collapse of the society, before the Most High shows his face again. Thank you guys for allowing me to share some truth with you.